This is my shortest vlog so far. I'm going to finish it and do it in one take. Even though it's taken me a million takes to get to this take, this is the take. It's just really cold, and I'm using my phone instead of my camera, so I don't have a tripod, and I'm just holding it, and it's just, I keep losing my train of thought, but I'm doing it. Hi. My last week was a little bit slow. Partly because I've been on the road a lot, and I don't get much stuff done on the road. Secondly, I sort of went backwards on a couple things that were going to happen. First off, I went to register for the LA Marathon, and turns out I had barely missed the deadline for doing a custom message on your racing bib, which isn't really a big deal, but I had been spending all this time trying to think of something, and I'd finally found something. I found a way to fit It's Like Science in there, which is it with the squiggly equal sign, science, squiggly equal sign being similar to from math, and I thought it was clever, and I liked it. And if they'd accept the squiggly equal sign, which probably has another name, but that's what I'm calling it, I would have really liked that. But it was too late, so decision made for me. Next off, I didn't go to Sundance. I was sort of hesitant when I had agreed, because I don't like things that come up on short notice, and I didn't want to be out of town for such a long block, because I was already going to be out of town for a few days anyway. And I was in the middle of a project right before, and I didn't really sleep much the night before I was going to have to start driving, so I was anxious about that. And we were having trouble figuring out how I'd actually get to Park City, because they were going to have me drive some of the way and take shuttles and buses and things. But the morning of, Aaron got a hold of me, and apparently, because they'd gone the day before, and they got there, and the place we were going to stay, which they'd gotten through Craigslist, which was this nice place on Main Street, Park City, like far too many things on Craigslist, turned out to be a scam, and a bunch of other people had gotten scammed too. And so they found a smaller place in Salt Lake, which means they'd have to shuttle back and forth, but they did find a place, so I'm happy for them. But that sort of pushed me to not going. And also, still would have been fun, and I'd like to go sometime, but and it sounds like they had a good time, so I'm glad. But I'm glad I stayed, because I was able to get further along on some projects I was working on. I still came up, though, to Utah. I drove to St. George first, spent the night at my parents' place, then we all went to Logan, Utah, which is where my brother Hunter, he just transferred to school there, and saw his new apartment, which is really nice, and I'm jealous. And we met his roommates, and all went out shopping, and went to dinner and stuff, and it was fun. Also this morning at the hotel, for the little breakfast buffet thing they have, we discovered an invention we'd never seen before, which is a pancake maker. And science just keeps moving forward, and we loved it. And I mean, we'd seen the waffle irons with the timers, but that's so like 90s at this point. That's old news. But the pancake maker, the one thing that they could do to improve it is to add a window in the front so you can watch the pancake being made. But they probably want to dissuade too many people from crowding around it, so maybe that's why. Anyway, we then drove down to here, which is Spanish Fork, where my brother Logan lives. Hunter and Logan in Spanish Fork. I don't have a brother named Spanish Fork, but I wish I did, and I wish that they lived in a place called Hunter. That would make me happy. But he and his family were spending the night here. But we are going, my mom and I are going to Phantom of the Opera tonight, and I'll see Adam, and possibly get to see backstage after the show, which will be fun. And then tomorrow I go back down to St. George, grab a couple of boxes of mine from storage, and then go all the way back to LA. And then I'll be back for the near future. I missed a couple holidays last week that I was going to mention. Monday was Martin Luther King Day. I don't know how I missed that one. But I feel bad. But it was also the inauguration, and it was also National Hug Day, where they encourage people to show love and compassion in public places, and also to know the benefits or the physiological and psychological health benefits of human contact. So keep holding hands and hugging, and kissing and other things, people. So it's good for you. Yesterday was apparently National Pie Day, which I can respect, but there's only one real Pie Day, and that's March 14th, as we all know. Today is, and I'm going to read this off directly because I keep forgetting the actual thing. It's the International Day of Commemoration in memory of the victims of the Holocaust. It's another UN commemoration day, and they didn't actually say on the page about it why today in particular, and so I looked it up, and this was the day of the liberation of the Auschwitz concentration camp. So another thing that this month is the month of this is the month of self-defense awareness, and I checked out their site, and they talk about a bunch of different things, and learning martial arts is obviously the coolest thing you can do, but what they said is to focus on the fact that harming your attacker is not the most important thing. It's more about being prepared, being aware of your surroundings, taking precautions earlier, that kind of thing. So stay safe, everybody. Looking at my list. Oh, another backwards thing. I got a couple weeks in, and calculus has just been really hard. I love my genetics class, but calculus is just a little bit too hard. Like, I think I could finish it, but I don't think at this point it's worth the effort. So sorry, JR, who was encouraging me to slog through, but I'm switching to pre-calculus, and I'll get to calculus later. Meanwhile, I've got a nutrition class that just started. I'm doing a lot of different bio classes, but particularly some that are almost like research for me, because I've got some stuff that I'm writing that's biology based, and I want some background in it. So I'm really enjoying it. First big fun fact I learned from nutrition, which is more about history than nutrition. I always thought that the food pyramid, which they taught in school, was something that had been around for at least since like the 40s or something, or if not like the 1880s. But turns out that although there were dietary guidelines of different forms that kept updating, food pyramid was introduced in Sweden in the 70s and wasn't adopted by the US until 1992, so right as I would have started learning about it, so maybe that's why it stuck in my mind, because they were all being told to teach everybody about it. Not that it really matters anymore, because we don't have a food pyramid anymore. It's been updated to My Plate in the US, and will probably continue to update in the future. So yeah, nutrition. I'm sorry, I'm biting time. I don't have much left on my list. I don't know why I don't just memorize these, because it takes a while to memorize things. Last little bit of stuff is the project that I did get almost finished before I came up here. It's like soda. I was supposed to have a good segue about nutrition and bad nutrition and soda, but it didn't happen. I'm sorry. But it's a animation project, mostly text animation, but it's really funny, I think. And I only have a couple little tweaks to do on it, but it should come out either late Friday, very late Friday, or definitely Saturday. So check that out when it comes out. Also Saturday, we're going to be rehearsing Nisa's project, which I'm directing, and then we're filming next week. And that is the news from Spanish Fork.